here of Hillbilly Acre Homestead. Welcome back to the homestead. Thought you might like a little change of scenery. We're on a different side of the house today. You can tell this is what I was calling the new addition to the Rabbitry. I don't even know if you could consider this for real an addition or what you could consider this. It seems to be functional. It's not exactly what I envisioned being able to provide for the rabbits at this stage in the game, but I haven't had one rabbit to complain. We're just this is a little bit different than you probably saw this last. I just hung this cage. Got it supported on both ends. We've got decking screws. Hand me a couple of those screws there behind you, Donnie. Just to show y'all, I didn't get the camera out here and film the boring parts of watching me walk back and forth and wonder what I'm going to do next for about 10 minutes before I finally do it, and it takes 30 seconds to actually do it. So what I did was, I just thought I'd get something done here now that I've kind of got a game plan. Now what I'm going to do, okay, this from here down to that end is 16 feet. These cages, this is actually a double obviously, so this is 6 feet long, but these cages are 3 feet wide by 30 inches deep. So that means in this 16 feet I can put 5 running along this way and have a foot left down there. Or if I space them out a little bit, the singles, you know, it's going to be a little bit less than a foot. But anyway, you see what I'm saying. And then we can do the same thing right here. Remember, there used to be a wood hut sitting here, and it had Grubs and Gracie's cage. Grubs is on the ground right now. He's not going to stay there. Don't fret. He's not going to stay there. Gracie's right down there in the cage. You can't see her right now, but anyway, I've got 2 of these cages. 2 of these doubles, and I'm going to put this one here, and I'm going to put another one here, and it'll be a total length of 12 feet. That'll leave me 4 feet, and I can put one more. So what I'm probably going to do is just scoot this one over, just enough to make room for the other cage like that one that I have, and then we'll have our 5. Okay. To put this up. So what I did was, this is a 2x3 post right here. Okay, I've got a 1x3 here and a 1x3 here. And what I did was, obviously, it's an 8-footer. I ran it across there and one here. So I've got the cage supported here and here against the wall. And what I did was, I took some of these little screws. Watch and see if that focuses on there, Dana.
Yeah, I see.
They're about 2.5 inches long. I also sometimes, depending on what I grab, sometimes I get them 3 inches long too. And I don't know, probably about every 16 inches or so. I didn't really measure it. I just guessed at it. But across that top board and the bottom board, I have got one of these put in there, and we put the cage up there. Then I lashed around each end of the cage at the top with some baling wire to hold it up there. Okay. The weight is pretty much on these screws. These things are pretty tough. You know, they don't really have the sheer strength of a nail, but this isn't that heavy. Okay? And there's baling wire there. It's going to help some. Mainly it holds everything up there on the screw so it doesn't slide off. Then we've got these right here to support at the front. You'll notice some of the places that I've, not necessarily here, but some of the other places where I've hung cages, the cages over a period of time, they start to sag down a little bit here in the front. And so I thought these chains would help. I might still need to run something across here, a board or a beam or something, and then I've got a chain right here. I can run it back to that top one back there at an angle, but I just don't really know if that will support it the way I want. I think I'd rather go straight up like these are, because I like the way that's supporting that cage. I really do. I like going, you know, straight up and down like that. I like the way it turned out better than I do this one down here. But see, what I'm going to do is when I put the other cage right here, I'm going to fasten these cages together, maybe with one of these little quick links right here on the corner, maybe top and bottom, and then I'll support the cage straight down. And since these two will be connected, this will be supported as well. At least that's the game plan. We'll have to see if it works or not. If it doesn't, I'll do something else. But anyway, something's finally changing around here, and on the homestead. And I thought maybe you guys might kind of like to take a peek and see what's going on. This is pretty well what I've got. This right here is where Sorrel is going to be. Okay, his quarantine period is over. Cheyenne, we brought her in. We thought she was going to have babies. Evidently she has missed, but she still could have babies. There's a possibility. Actually, I don't think she was actually due until today. So we haven't given up hope yet, but in most cases they would have been born by now were the rabbit actually pregnant. But you know, Iris had hers a day late, so who says Cheyenne can't? Annabelle's due today too, and she hasn't had hers either, and I know without a doubt that she is full of babies. You don't even have to really palpate. Just hold your hand underneath their belly and you can feel them. They'll kick you in the hand.
What about Taffy? What'd she do?
Taffy is full of babies, but she's not due until Friday.
Oh, okay.
Taffy and I want to say Grace, but I'm afraid she may have missed again. We're gonna have to have a long talk with her, I guess, because she is, even though she's a little small, type-wise, she's pretty nice, and she's just too nice to not be trying to reproduce herself. So we're gonna have to. I might have to give her a stern talking to or something. But anyway, look at here, buddy. Look at here, buddy. Hey, buddy. There's you some new digs. Look at there. What you think? What you think, huh? Huh? Come on, you want to get in there and try out your new digs? Huh? Get in there, buddy. What you think? Huh? Hey, all right. Yep, right over here. Here, we got you some water. Come here. Here, you want some water? There you go. What you say, big boy? What do you think of that, huh?
Well, it's kind of old digs too, because that's the one he came out of.
What you think about that, old buddy? Yep, Sorrel came home with us, and his home came home with him. Ain't nothing in there yet. Give us some food, Mama. Tell Mama, say, Mama, give me some food. See, I got the munchies. He's a pretty boy. Sorrel's going to be going to the show. He's already signed up. Ain't you, buddy? We need to put a little weight on him. And getting him out of his quarantine cage. Those things are kind of small and what have you, but they're only temporary. I don't like spiders. I believe in live and let live, unless you're a spider. And some snakes. Anyway, he's already signed up, but he was in a small temporary quarantine cage. Hey, buddy. Look at here what we got. All right. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, yum. It's not in my hand, silly. It's here in the pan. Look, over here. Look at here. Right there. Yeah, there you go. Turkey. What you think, buddy? Got sticks to chew on, got hay in there and everything. Huh? What you say? But yeah, Sorrel's down a little bit in flesh condition. It's just part of what the way we quarantine rabbits. The cages are a little smaller than what they normally would live in, like this, and they can't run around and get as much exercise, and it's not the best way that we could be doing things. It's just making do with what we have, pretty much. to be able to keep them kind of separated from everybody else. We usually give them a 30-day quarantine period. Although, I mean, half of our herd came from the same Rabbitry, so I mean, if there was disease, we probably would have already had it here. But see, that's not always the point, because you just never know what could have blown up onto that area, or this area either, for that matter, in the time in those time periods. So it's not a matter of thinking, you know, you're bringing home a rabbit that's sick or something like that. It's just a matter of better safe than sorry, more than anything. And he's down a little bit in flesh condition, but now he's got that big old cage to run around in and what have you. And he will quickly regain. We've got about, I think about 3.5 weeks. 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. He will be a different bunny by then. Before anybody starts screaming and yelling, this is going to be shaded, because in the morning the sun comes right up over there, and that over there has got a top on it. This doesn't. Well, the hutch that was sitting here, if you'll remember, it had something on top of it that allowed them shade when the sun got so high in the sky. Okay, and in the morning that tree right there would shade them. So they had shade all day long. Well, right here, when I came out here about 11 o'clock, something like that, this whole area right here was in the sun. Okay, and that's just not going to work, because any of you that have rabbits know with that big old fur coat, you know, they don't like our heat anyway, but direct sunlight will kill them in just a matter of half hour, you know, if it's not corrected. So that's just not going to work. And we will have to, probably what I will do, I don't know if we'll get that done today, but I will probably take, and I don't think I'm going to put another rabbit in here today. I'll have to see. But I've got a piece of metal out here. It's actually the side off of an old dryer that was on top of that old hutch. And I will put that up here so that he will not get any. I'm not saying none of his cage, all of his cage won't. I'm not saying that none of it will get direct sunlight. I'm saying that there's going to be a square of shade here that he can get in. And he will. He will. Trust me. I see Grubs and Grace do. They did the same thing over here. You got this much shade on the front half of their cage, and that's exactly where they would be laying until the sun got a little bit higher and that shade moved all the way across the cage, and then they'd be moving around again. They're not as dumb as a lot of people think. They're rabbits. Okay? They're not as smart as a dog or a cat. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I'm not so sure. But rabbits are pretty smart. How's that, buddy? This guy, I don't know. You just have to. I mean, we got so many rabbits here. You would think, how can you be partial to anybody? There's so many here. But I think what a lot of people don't realize is these guys, they have personalities. Okay, how many of you own a lot of dogs or a lot of cats? They've each got different personalities, right? They're all a little bit different. They're still dogs, but they're different. They act different, behave different. It's their personality. He's just a cuddle bunny. Get him on your lap. Pick him up. You know. Watch. When I walk down here, watch these rabbits. Watch Gemma. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Look, she's already tense. See, she's stomping at me. See? Put my hand in there, and she's going to run in circles. She don't want me to touch her. Okay, come down here, and Sorrel sticks his head out. He wants loving. It's just a personality, and you can't help but get attached to something like that.
Yeah, he really enjoyed his time at the fair. He got lots of lovins.
Yep. He was I think I've actually got a little bit of short footage of that. I might try to edit that in here somewhere. Of the kiddos on Youth Day. They came by and they all were petting him, and he just laid down there, just let them pet. You know, a lot of rabbits, that really stresses them out. Ace actually bit somebody. He got so upset. It was an adult, thank goodness, but it was one of the fellow volunteers at the fair. She walked up while I had him out on my show table, waiting for the kiddos to start, the next group of kiddos to walk by, and she reached down to pet him. And he raised up, slapped her hand, and bit her at the same time. And never seen him show any signs of it other than stomping his foot when you walk up. you know, but half the rabbits we have does that, but he never shown any signs of aggression whatsoever. But he was very, very stressed, and he did not want that woman touching him. He was okay, I guess. I mean, naturally, we were apologetic, and the lady was okay. She understands how rabbits are, and it was all good. And I told her, I said, you know, in all honesty, though, I'm glad that he did that to you and not one of the little kiddos that were about to come by here and pet him, because I had just got him out of his cage and took him over. And I decided that Ace wasn't going to be a petting zoo bunny or whatever you want to call it. So Ace went back to his cage, and I think we ended up going with Romeo or somebody else. But we had several rabbits out that day. We didn't let them any of them stay out too long. Sorrel stayed out longer than anybody, though. And he did, after a while, all the screaming and yelling, he did finally start showing signs of getting tired, wearing down or whatever. So we put him back in his cage, and that's when we started going with the others. But he was enjoying it. Sure was. What'd you say, buddy? What'd you say, huh? You sitting up there on your haunches? Huh? Or are you sitting your way? This is all just showing you kind of what's going on. Some changes finally being made. Now, the way that I did this, right here, you see how the back of this cage is set out the width of this 1x from that. And what's going to happen is we've got some 1/2-inch PVC and some fittings and some little water nipples. We're going to make a watering system, and we're going to water them all down through there, a straight run of PVC, and this is all set down to where this can fit in between the cage and the wall, if you want to call it a wall, okay? And do it just like that, okay? So we will have at a later date. I'm not doing that today. I want to get all the cages that I'm going to put in this area hung before I can start to lay out the PVC and put it all where it's going to be and decide where. But the thing is the water nipple that's going to be on the back. There's going to be one here, one there, and I bought 10 of them. We're going to try them out. Remember I told you I'm not really fond of the little cast steel or whatever you want to call it, hot metal water nipples that I'm using, or have been using for a couple of years. It's just I bought 100 of them at one time, and we've just been using them to use them up, you know, because it's what we had. But it's getting to the point we're getting low on those, and I don't want to continue buying those. The brass ones cost a little more up front, where the old ones cost me about $1.25 to $1.50 a piece plus shipping. These are about $3 a piece plus shipping. And then I need to $3 a piece plus shipping, which is double. The difference is when the old ones, when they go bad, when they get stopped up, they tell you. And it comes with a little Allen wrench, and they tell you can take the centers out of those and clean them out and put them back on. No. What they don't tell you is those things corrode inside the threads, and when you try to back that little piece out with an Allen wrench, it's made out of plastic. All it's going to do is crack. And once it cracks, that nipple is going to leak continuously and drip. And it's going to, if you're using a system like we are that's fed with a 5-gallon bucket, in a few hours it's going to be empty, and there's still a whole lot of day left. And your rabbits are supposed to have enough water in that bucket to last until feeding and watering time the next day, and they don't. 4 or 5 hours and the bucket's empty, and then the rest of the day they go without water. Sorry, that's not the way it's supposed to happen. So whenever we have one to get stopped up and what have you, if I can't just work it loose by moving the little spigot on the end of it and clearing it out, I pull it off there, throw it away, put another one on. Well, that gets costly if you're, because the vinyl tubing that we're using lets sunlight go through. Then algae grows inside there. Okay? Yes, our water is chlorinated. We're use tap water. It is chlorinated, but if water sits 24 hours, the chlorine chemical leaves the water, and then algae and stuff can grow in your water. So it grows in your tubes. So when we go to try to run a little bleach water through there to shock the algae and kill it, it starts busting. We don't get it all. We never get it all out. And when it starts busting loose later on, when somebody takes a drink, the algae busts loose and it comes right to that nipple and it stops it up. So it happens a lot. So this is going to do two things, because the PVC is not going to allow that sunlight and not going to allow that algae growth. Okay, because it's not transparent like the vinyl tubing is. It's opaque, and so we shouldn't have a problem with the algae growth. But you know, just in case, now we are going to have on each one of these, and you'll see later on. I've got it planned to where I'm going to have some valves below each water spigot, to where if crud starts building up for whatever reason, I mean, it should be something that maybe happens every 10 years or something, but periodically I'm going to put a valve right below each water nipple to where I can walk up, open that up, let a little bit of water drain out, and flush out any dirt, dust, debris, or anything that might go down in there with the water. But because the water nipple's here and the valve is down here, we're going to have about 6 inches or so of pipe where heavy particles can collect and go past the water nipple instead of going in it and stopping it up, causing a problem. So we're going to see if that works. If that works, trust me, you'll know about it. If you're watching the videos and what have you, we will keep you posted. We're not, obviously, we haven't even put it in yet, and we're gonna let you watch some of that as well. It's not something I've done before. It's going to be something I'm going to kind of be learning as I go. But just knowing the nature of a gravity feed water system and how they work, it's not going to be that hard to figure out. We just gotta get it lined up, and I need all these cages in place so to make it easier to determine where each of those water spigots are going to need to be. And in fact, later on, I may even go back and, especially for some of these that I'm going to use for grow out pens, I may go back and add another spigot or two, just so I don't have, 4 or 5 rabbits in a cage together and they're fighting over one, trying to get enough water. So, but right now, the 10 cages, the 10 big cages like this that is going to be in this area when I get done, I've got one water nipple for each one, and that'll do to get us started. Anyway, that's what we've got going on, and just wanted to bring you a little update. I hope you enjoyed this. If you got any questions, I'm not going to say I can do a good job answering questions, but some of them I can answer. If I can't answer it though, I'm not going to give you no BS. I'm just going to tell you I don't know, So there's that. But Sorrel is in his new home, and he is happy. Happy, happy, happy. Sorrel, are you happy? Are you happy, buddy? Huh? Are you happy? Huh? Are you happy? He says, love me some more, Daddy. Come here. Back up. Let me in. There he is. There's my buddy boy. There's my buddy boy. Big old boy. Big old boy. Alright, yeah. Alright. I'm sure y'all got better things to do than watch me love on a bunny, so y'all have a great day. God bless.